Well, hi, Casey, and everybody else, because I'm sure all of you could benefit from this. Now, I'm going to get Casey's question in front of me because I want to try and be sure I know exactly what she means. So, when we are determining the modalities, okay. So, um, okay. So maybe I confuse little things a little bit by talking about a blank chart. So let's look at an actual chart. If you are determining what modalities a client or you or a friend is in, you are best looking at, oh, I am going to redo these charts with less of the asteroids in. So I think I've put, because I look at everything, I've put too much in for you guys. So I'm going to redo them. But for now, so I've created a symbol sheet for the symbols we'll be looking at for planets and things. I'm also then going to create a separate sheet for modalities, even though I think there was one, but I'm going to create my own. But cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So, quite simply speaking, you would go around the chart and look at what planets are in cardinal signs. So for this one, you have some in Aries, some in Cancer, even though I'm going to take some of those out. At the South Node in Libra, and which I wouldn't really count because we're heading towards the North Node. It's what we want to really live in this life, but we'll talk more about that later. And some in Capricorn. So you would count what planets and bodies are in cardinal signs. Okay. So even though on the natural chart, let me, no, I'm just going to point at this one. The first house is naturally ruled by Aries. On your chart, this house is ruled by Cancer because you have Cancer on the ascendant and you always go counterclockwise. Even if you had, you've got 11 degrees of Leo in the first house, you're still Cancer ruling your first house, if that makes sense. Okay. I'm just reading you have two signs in the inner circle. Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? You have Cancer and Leo. So you have Cancer on the cusp of your first house, and that's your ascendant. You have going this counterclockwise, anti-clockwise. You have Leo on the cusp of your second house. So your house, second house, is ruled by Leo, but that house is naturally, in other words, if there was no birth time, ruled by Taurus. Okay. Third house, you have Virgo. Fourth house, you have Virgo. This is not uncommon in higher latitudes, especially like Massachusetts. You were born a little bit higher up. So quite often people have one sign on the cusp of two houses and what's called an intercepted sign in one house. And all an intercepted sign means is that it's kind of a bit harder to access any planets in the intercepted sign. It's not a bad thing, it just means sometimes we don't feel it as easily. Okay. That's a whole so I hope that makes sense. And then you have Scorpio on the cusp of your fifth house, which is the natural house of Leo. And then back to the signs. So I said you have some in Aries, so you would count them up. So let's see, we are counting the North Node. I'm going to redo your chart without some of these symbols in, but you'd count 1 for the North Node, 2 for Jupiter, so 1, 2, 3, Venus. Then you would go to the next cardinal sign and you have, so that's 1, 2, 3. Then you have 4, Lilith, but you have the ascendant, which is 2, 4, 5, 6. We're not counting the South Node. And you have 7, 8. 8 in cardinal signs, okay? Then we have mutable signs, let's say. Actually, let's go to fixed next. We'll go around. So in fixed signs, you have the sun, so that's 2, because it's the sun. Mercury, 3. Next fixed sign we'll ignore, because that's Astrea, and we're not looking at that. Sorry for confusing you all by leaving in those other things. That was kind of lazy of me, because I look at all these things, but that's kind of advanced astrology. So the next fixed sign is Scorpio. So you've got 3 so far, but you get 2 for the moon. So 4, 5, 6. And then nothing in Aquarius. So that's 6 in fixed signs. Then mutable. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in mutable. Does that help? Am I supposed to use the sign on the inner circle or the outer circle? I'm not 100% sure what that means, but this is the sign on the cusp, Cancer, and then Lilith is in Cancer. So for counting the elements, I would look at the actual planet, okay, because that could be in Leo in the first house. So go to Lilith is in Cancer, so that's in a cardinal sign. I'm hoping I've explained that more clearly for you all. Please ask if you have any more questions. I'm going to actually go through and redo your charts without the without some of these asteroids in now. So, but for now, I hope this helps. Thank you.